News Bulletin, weather forecast for the United States and the Atlantic, today and tomorrow. Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our global weather news update. As always, we bring you the latest developments affecting key regions around the world. With today's focus on the Caribbean, Central America, North America, and signals emerging from the Atlantic, where tropical waves have just departed the coast of Africa, marking the approach of peak hurricane season. Caribbean and Central America, heavy rainfall concerns. We begin with the Caribbean, where a tropical wave has moved across Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, Cuba, and is now pushing deeper into Central America. This system has delivered heavy rainfall, with some areas recording over 100 millimeters, more than 4 inches. As a result, parts of Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Guatemala, and El Salvador now face heightened risks of flash flooding and landslides. Across Jamaica, Cuba, Haiti, the Dominican Republic, and the Bahamas, scattered showers continue. While not all regions are experiencing widespread rainfall, localized downpours have already triggered flooding in certain areas, disrupting daily life. Such conditions are not unusual during the Atlantic hurricane season, yet prolonged rainfall and high water accumulation always strain infrastructure and test the resilience of small island nations. Mountainous areas in Central America are particularly vulnerable, as saturated soils increase the likelihood of dangerous landslides. Meteorological agencies across the region are issuing early warnings and coordinating evacuation plans to keep communities safe. Atlantic outlook, tropical waves under watch. Meanwhile, attention is turning to several tropical waves now emerging from West Africa. These waves are the classic seeds of tropical storms that cross the Atlantic and, under the right conditions, can evolve into hurricanes threatening the Caribbean and North America. In the short term, however, development remains limited. A large, dry, and stable air mass currently dominates the central Atlantic, suppressing deep convection. In addition, dust from the Sahara, though lighter than in June and July, still lingers in the atmosphere, reducing humidity and hindering storm formation. This Saharan dust has long been recognized as a natural inhibitor of tropical cyclone development by cutting off the moist energy that storms need to intensify. Still, forecast models, particularly the European ensemble, are highlighting a shift. By early September, conditions are expected to become more favorable, with higher moisture and less Saharan dust. This suggests that from around September 5 onward, the Atlantic could turn significantly more active, increasing the chances of tropical depressions or even hurricanes forming. Near-shore U.S. and Bahamas, local thunderstorms. Closer to the U.S. mainland, forecasters are tracking clusters of thunderstorms developing off the east coast and near the northern Bahamas. These are not tropical in nature and are unlikely to evolve into storms. Still, they may bring short-lived downpours and thunderstorms to coastal areas before drifting northward. Central America, ongoing flood risk. The heaviest rainfall remains focused on Costa Rica and Panama, where widespread storms are expected to continue. Some locations could receive up to 150 millimeters, around 6 inches, within just a few days. Given the steep terrain and dense river networks, this raises a serious threat of flash floods and landslides. Local authorities have urged residents to stay alert, avoid travel on vulnerable roads, and be prepared for emergency evacuations if needed. Mexico, too, is seeing increased rainfall, especially in the west and in Mexico City. Low-lying areas are at risk of localized flooding where downpours persist. Southern United States, heavy rainbelt. In the U.S., a broad zone of storms stretches from Texas through Louisiana, Arkansas, and Mississippi. Over the coming days, rainfall totals may reach 75 to 150 millimeters, elevating flood risks. Local governments have issued advisories urging residents to use caution while traveling and to prepare flood defenses where necessary. Canada, weather divide between west and east. Shifting northward to Canada, a striking east-west contrast is unfolding. A strong high-pressure system dominates the west, delivering sunny, dry, and unusually warm conditions. In contrast, a trough over eastern Canada is bringing cool, Rainy weather. In British Columbia, weekend conditions look ideal for outdoor activities. With clear skies and soaring temperatures. Kelowna is expected to reach 34 degrees Celsius. Victoria around 31 degrees Celsius. And Calgary a milder but still warm 26 degrees Celsius, above seasonal norms. Alberta will continue warming, with some areas nearing 30 degrees Celsius by midweek. Meanwhile, Ontario and Quebec are much cooler and wetter. Ottawa will see daytime highs near 19 degrees Celsius with persistent rainfall. Toronto and Windsor are forecast around 24 degrees Celsius, while St. John's and Charlottetown hover in the low 20s Celsius. By Sunday night into Monday, showers are set to spread south from northern Ontario, bringing thunderstorms into Quebec. Halifax, Cape Breton, and Newfoundland can expect heavy rainfall early next week, with temperatures in St. John's dipping to 16 degrees Celsius, well below the seasonal average. While disruptive, this rainfall is welcome for firefighters battling ongoing wildfires. As of now, 3 fires remain active in Newfoundland and 2 in Nova Scotia, with at least 1 still uncontained. Big picture and outlook. As we close, the late August weather map paints a vivid contrast. The Caribbean and Central America remain soaked by relentless rain. The Atlantic remains quiet but poised for change. The U.S. experiences a mix of floods and dry heat. And Canada splits sharply between sun-drenched west and rain-soaked east. Though no hurricanes are currently active, early September could shift the balance. The next named storm on the Atlantic list is Gabrielle. Forecasters stress that close monitoring of tropical waves is essential, as even small shifts in atmospheric circulation can dramatically alter storm outcomes. Ladies and gentlemen, nature's power is ever-changing and often unpredictable. Staying informed and prepared remains our strongest safeguard. We will continue to bring you timely updates to ensure you remain one step ahead of the weather. Thank you for joining us today. Wishing you a safe and steady day ahead.